everyone. Dr. Sonia Anderson here from Cornerstone Physical Therapy. I want to do a talk on some postural exercises and some things to keep in mind with all of these changes we've had this year. We've had a lot more patients coming in because their work situation changed and they are spending a lot more time on their computers at home. Also, a lot of people, as they should be, are wearing masks more often. So I want to talk about that too in regards to your posture and with your jaw. First off, let's talk about it regardless of the mask. When you're sitting up at a workstation, the desk should be pretty relaxed in front of you. So if I'm sitting, my arm should be parallel to the floor. I shouldn't be down here because it's on my lap, and I shouldn't be scrunched up like this or something. So pretty relaxed here, and the ability for my shoulders to be relaxed. I think a lot of people have had issues switching from their work setup to their home setup, and maybe they don't really have an actual setup at home. Maybe they're just sitting at the dining room table, or maybe they're just on the couch with the computer on their lap. And that's fine maybe for short term, but if you're doing it for hours a day, 5 days out of the week, it really makes a big difference. So I've been encouraging all of my patients, get an actual desk and then get something, either a stool or an actual stand-up desk that you can add maybe to a countertop so that you can also switch to standing up. That's going to help you a lot. While you're in that good kind of relaxed arm position, I also want you to think about your sternum. So instead of down here, I want you to think about it kind of being up at an angle, and that's going to put your head in a good position. You shouldn't be up like this, shouldn't be having to look down like this. Should be pretty level. So your computer screen, the top of it should be about at eye level. All right, now for the jaw. The relaxed position of the jaw is with your tongue on the roof of the mouth, kind of like you're going to say the word no, where that n goes. Tongue shouldn't be pushing on the teeth at all. So it should kind of feel like it's in a light suction on the roof of the mouth. Your teeth should be apart, and then your lips should be closed. So try that. You should feel like things are pretty relaxed. If it feels weird for you to have your tongue up like that, it's probably because your tongue is usually overactive and maybe pushing down or pushing into the teeth. So that might be a good one to kind of be aware of. Now with the masks on, what I've been seeing and hearing a lot of people doing, and I noticed it myself, I was doing it, we've been kind of jutting the jaw forward and kind of down in order to get the mask off your face a little bit. So kind of like we're trying to do that, which I understand why we're doing it. I was doing it too, trying to kind of give yourself some breathing room a little bit. But I was getting headaches and some jaw pain from doing that every day for hours. So for me, what worked the best is keeping in mind that my tongue needs to be up, my teeth need to be apart, and my jaw needs to be relaxed, trying to make sure that my bottom teeth are not traveling in front of my top teeth. And I think the way that that worked the best for me is if I found a mask that fit pretty snugly, but wasn't putting a lot of pressure on my face. But I think it's also just being aware of it and making a point to correct that position when you feel yourself kind of jutting forward. Let's go through some exercises. So these are really, really easy exercises that you can do sitting at a desk, sitting in a car, waiting in line maybe. There's 4 different ones. The first one is a chin tuck. It is super duper attractive. You're going to look great doing it. If you're wearing a mask while you're doing it, kind of hides the unattractive part. But this is a really, really good neck exercise. So I want you to think about kind of scooping your head backwards like this, almost like you're trying to make a double chin, right? Like I said, it looks super attractive. So if you're by yourself, whatever. If you're around family, whatever. And maybe if you're in the car, who cares? But if you do it with your mask on, nobody can see your double chin, so that's okay, right? Okay, so that's one. I like to do that kind of holding it. It doesn't really matter how many you do, but it's a really nice way to get out of that kind of position. Another one that I really enjoy is a neck diagonal exercise. So you kind of think of a big X in front of your face, and you're going to trace it with your nose. So you start kind of nose facing down towards your armpit, and then go up in that straight diagonal to your opposite corner, and then back down. You don't go fast, kind of give yourself a little stretch in each position. It's a nice way to stretch out some of those tight muscles, and then you're also doing a little bit of a self-mobilization at the top of the neck too, which is really great. So I would do a few of those in a row on each side. Again, it's a nice way to break up some of that desk sitting time. My two other ones are more shoulder exercises. One is super easy. You've probably done these a million times before. It's just a backward shoulder roll. And I specifically say backwards because that forward one, I end up kind of like this. I want to do more of an open thing. So more of this versus that kind of thing, right? And this for me is a nice way to kind of remind my postural muscles like, hey, let's get working instead of that slouching. The last one is a shoulder blade squeeze. So I want you to kind of think of those two shoulder blades, and you're going to squeeze in between. So kind of more like that. You want to make sure you're not going up at all, more of a down and back. So again, this is a nice postural reminder for some of those muscles, and it's just a really nice way to break up some of that slouching. Now, the best rule of thumb for posture when you're in a stationary position, let's say working on a project for work or for school, you've been working on it for an hour, you're starting to get stiff, you're starting to get kind of achy. The best rule of thumb is that the best posture is your next posture. And that basically says we're better with movement versus stationary positions. So as long as you can get up, move around, do something else, do some of these exercises, just get out of that same position, you're already going to feel better. I would say when you're doing schoolwork or work, about 30 minutes to an hour is really as long as you want to sit in one position. Get up even if it's for a minute. Just do something else, do some exercises, and then go back to what you were doing. Sometimes that's really hard to do, so set a timer for yourself. Set a little reminder. I think that could make a really big difference in your day-to-day workload. Yep. All right. Make sure to check out some of our other videos. We are on Facebook, and then we have a bunch of videos on YouTube as well. So check us out. Bye.